Hello, my dear friends. I am Dr. Wasim I Khan, Assistant Professor, Shri Shivaji Law College, Parbhani, Maharashtra, India. So, in today's lecture, we will discuss the third school of criminology, that is a neoclassical school of criminology. So, we will discuss the entire concept under this particular lecture. So, let's start the topic. Neoclassical School of Criminology we will discuss in this particular lecture. In the previous two lectures, we have discussed the two schools, pre-classical school and classical school of criminology. So that supporters of pre-classical school suggest that there is a demon or devil spirit which motivate a person to commit an offense. Otherwise, a person is simple by nature. If that particular demon or devil spirit has been removed from the body, from the soul of the person, then he is a simple person, he will not commit an offense. And they suggest torture and pain is one of the remedy to keep away the demon spirit or devil spirit from the body of person. So that is the approach of pre-classical school. But the supporters of classical school, that is the Cesar Beccaria, rejected the approach of pre-classical school, and Cesar Beccaria says that there is no demon or devil spirit behind the commission of crime, but it is the free will of the person. Out of the free will, the person used to commit an offense. The person is getting a pleasure from the commission of offense, and that is why he is committing an offense. And the classical school also says that the punishment should be a very serious one, so as the person will feel that the pain is more rather than the pleasure which he got from the commission of offense. So that is the approach of these two schools. But classical school fails to differentiate between first offender and habitual offender, and on the basis of this failure, the third school has been emerged, that is a neoclassical school, which we will discuss in this particular lecture. So neoclassical school, what exactly says? The thinkers of this school criticize the classical school because it fails to maintain the difference between first offender and habitual offender. The supporters of neoclassical school criticize the classical school on the base of criticism was that the classical school fails to maintain the difference between first offender and habitual offender, because classical school suggests the same punishment for first offender and habitual offender. There was no such a difference between first offender and habitual offender, and on the basis of which the neoclassicists criticize the classical school of criminology. It suggests that certain categories of offenders such as minor, idiots, insane had to be treated leniently in matter of punishment. The neoclassicist suggests that if the offense has been committed by a minor, idiot or an insane person, they had to be treated leniently whenever the question of punishment is there. It suggests that certain categories of offenders such as minor, idiot, insane had to be treated leniently in matter of punishment. So neoclassicist says that whenever the person who has committed an offense is a minor, idiot or insane, they had to be treated leniently while avoiding a punishment. Why? Because these persons are incapable of appreciating the difference between right and wrong, because minor person, insane person, idiot person are incapable to appreciate the difference between right and wrong. They cannot differentiate between right and wrong. What is wrong, what is right, they can't differentiate, and that is why there is a chance of commission of offense. So on the basis of this fact, they had to be treated leniently. There should be a categorization of offender while awarding a punishment. That is the main approach of neoclassical school. Neoclassicists were the first who bring out the distinction between first offender and habitual offender. So firstly, the neoclassicists bring out the distinction between first offender and habitual offender. Before the neoclassicist, the supporters of pre-classical school and classical school has suggested a serious punishment irrespective of the personality of the offender, irrespective of the sex of the offender. They suggest a serious punishment, but the neoclassicist suggests that there should be a certain difference between first offender and habitual offender. Therefore, along with the criminal act, the other factors such as the personality of the criminal, the motives, previous life, his history, general character should not be lost while assessing his guilt. So no doubt, while awarding the punishment, the criminal act will be assessed. But neoclassicist says that along with the criminal act, the personality of the offender has to be assessed, motives behind the commission of offense has to be assessed, previous life of the offender has to be assessed, his history has to be assessed, as well as general character of the offender has to be assessed while awarding a punishment. Because if the motive of offense may be good or bad, if the motive is good, lenient punishment should be awarded. If the personality of the offender is, suppose if the offender is a child, why after assessing the personality of the offender, lenient punishment should be given. So neoclassicist says that along with the criminal act, all these factors must be assessed. But they believe that all the criminals should be kept away from the society. But the neoclassicist says that the criminal is an immoral person and that is why he shall be kept away from the society when the award of sentence has been passed against that particular offender. So this is the approach of neoclassical school. Here we end the neoclassical school. I hope you understand this topic. If you understand this topic, please subscribe my channel, hit the notification button, hit the like button and share this video with your friends. Thank you very much.